Hello and Happy New Year. Yes, I know I've been a little absentee in the video making department lately. I have been on watching videos and stuff like that almost on a daily basis, but I've been hardly making any videos for the simple fact that I haven't had a lot of stuff to review. There's been no new knives. I wanted a new gun, but my FFL said some guns you just can't get. They're just delayed like crazy. I did get 2 magazine pouches from Pete from the Army channel. Armor Guard holsters in order to match holsters I already had. One was an in the waistband 1911 magazine pouch. One was an out of waistband Glock magazine pouch. But I'm not going to talk about those until I actually try them at wearing them and shit like that. I am perfectly fine. Some people were speculating that I might be sick or what. That is not the case. I'm totally fine. Just working for the police department every school day, plus working overnight 5 nights a week. But for week before Thanksgiving to Christmas week, I was working 6 nights a week because it wasn't last year, but there's normally higher volume for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's. So we have to work extra hard, extra hours, come in earlier. So I hadn't had a lot of time even if I wanted to review stuff or talk about stuff. Even gifts. I didn't get any cool gifts. I got, gift card here, card. That's with a mug. I'm not 5 years old anymore. And there are a lot of guys that just don't have the cash around. I normally get mugs and little trinkets from the police department, but even that was one family gave me a box of chocolates, one family gave me a water bottle, which I do use, and the rest were thank you cards. Nothing really big than like jackets and knives and all this crazy shit. Nothing really to talk about. But I'm okay. No serious problems. I did have my great aunt passed away last year. I got the call from my other great aunt. This is my great aunt by marriage. Got the call saying she wasn't doing too good, and then next thing you know, she passed away. She was over 80. I had a cousin who had a heart attack. Her daughter was one that had the kidney issue. No, I'm sorry. Her daughter had a liver failure. She had a liver transplant in 2015. And then that failed too, and she died in 2020. She had what they call the widowmaker, which means intense chest pain and arm pain in both arms to the point where you want to rip your arms off. Like, unbearable fucking pain. Her husband was the guy in Vietnam who got the 2 Bronze Stars. Yeah. He got to the hospital. They transported her to the major hospital. She had surgery 8 years to the minute that her daughter had the liver transplant, the first one. And the doctor said, you should be dead. There's a 90% fatality rate. You should be dead. But she survived. So I have that to be thankful for. Above all, everything else is good. Nothing major going on. I am surviving because I'm smart. I save money. I put money away. I invest. I am smart. Okay, I'm able to keep above water now. I know some guys are not like that. They're living paycheck to paycheck. Some guys file for bankruptcy. Some guys lost their job. I understand that. It happens. So that's what I've been up to lately. I wanted to talk about the Harvard president, Claudine Gaye, who was finally asked to resign. The woman had a very, very, very disgusting past. Now, Harvard, when I was in 8th grade and I went to my high school to have the open house to a high school, one of our brothers was going to Harvard. and it was a great, joyous occasion. Oh my God, how awesome he is. Fast forward to 4 years, I'm the senior class, me and the new 8th graders, touring them around the school, and our principal tells us that our brother is going to be going to the CIA very soon. Very, very, very astounding, okay? We were proud of this, okay? Normally, you go to Harvard, your family goes to a party, you might be on the news. If you're from a small town somewhere, you might be on the news. Harvard was like this, oh my God, you went to Harvard, holy shit, okay? And Harvard predates everything. Harvard was founded by the Pilgrims during the territorial days. So Harvard predates the United States, predates British colonialism. Harvard predates constitutions. Harvard predates everything. Harvard has been here for years. Some of our founding fathers went to Harvard. Some of our greatest presidents and generals and all these great minds went to Harvard. Supreme Court justices, governors, senators, okay? All these great thinkers went to Harvard. Now we're finding out that Harvard has had a couple of skeletons in the past, whether it be Nazi sympathies here and there or anti-Semitism here and there. A lot of that stuff is being brought to light now. But this woman was an absolute disgrace to the nth degree. The anti-Semitism she allowed and celebrated at Harvard was simply the icing on the cake. First and foremost, plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism means you stole words. You took a person's quote out of their book or published manuscript without giving them credit. And in college, that is really frowned upon. It is not the least bit uncommon for a student to be expelled from college for plagiarism. Typically, if you're quoting someone, you might have open quotation marks, and then you might write blah, 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 close quotation marks, who said it, okay? Or in college, we had a term paper, we have a bibliography. That means you write a paragraph, open parentheses, the author's last name, comma, first name, and what page was on. Page in their book, page in an article, if applicable. If I have a 3-page article, you might not write page number. If I have a 100-page book, you might write page number, okay? And then the bibliography, it goes alphabetical order, author's last name, comma, first name, title of their book, okay? That way the professor reading your paper, your manuscript, can actually go to the library, whether it's a real library or a digital library, and they can bring up the article or the book or a digital copy of the book, and they can turn to that page, or if it's in the textbook, they can research that, okay? And if you just have blah, 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 okay, word for word, and you don't give the author credit, that is plagiarism. And we've all read a paragraph and paraphrased it, but if you're writing a direct quote, you have to give them credit. Okay? Now, some college professors will just say, listen, I'm filling your ass in a term paper. I'm failing you for the peer, I'm failing you for the class. You want to complain about it? I'll bring this to the dean and I'll prove you committed plagiarism. Other professors would make it mandatory. They would put you no matter what. Now, a lot of times, like the literature department will actually say, our policies, we all report to the dean. Because literature, science, history, and mathematics, you pretty much have to take at least one of those classes for each subject, even in college. You could be getting an art degree, but you gotta take a science. You could be getting a law degree, but you gotta take a math, okay? They pretty much have it mandated. Okay, so math, literature, history, science, those are the 4 core subjects. So if you're in the literature department, odds are every student in the campus is going to pass by a literature department one way or another. And they mandated it. Now, I had a professor who was in community college. She was a professor at a Catholic school, Catholic college, and she came to our school Thursday night to teach one class. It was our seminar class. Our head professor, our curriculum chair, asked her to come and help teach that class because, right, she had no less than 7 people she expelled from the Catholic college over plagiarism. One person in particular plagiarized her. The girl literally wrote an article, blah, 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 gave it to the professor, and the professor said, if you bothered to read the author's name, you would know you were plagiarizing me. So she literally plagiarized her own professor. She actually submitted her professor's own work to her. Okay? Expulsion. Okay? This isn't like in fucking elementary school, you got a frowny face in your report card or note to your mom. No, you get expelled. Now, the president of Harvard was caught committing plagiarism no less than 85 times. That's how many times that someone took her published work and found irrefutable proof that another professor had written that work a day earlier, a week earlier, 10 years earlier, 100 years earlier. Okay? 85 times they proved she committed plagiarism. If you are a college student and they prove one time you commit plagiarism, you're expelled. One time. But yet, you being the president of the college of Supreme Court justices, of senators, of governors, of mayors, of founding fathers, of presidents, you are committing plagiarism. You are caught 85 times. And one of the people she plagiarized was a black woman. She stole from a black woman. So right then and there, she should not qualify to be a fucking janitor at any college in the world. Now, under her tenure, which was 6 months, she allowed more anti-Semitism than was in the Third Reich, okay? She allowed students on her campus to say we need to kill the Jews. We need to have a holy war against the Jews and kill all the Jews everywhere. Kill the Jews in Israel. Kill the Jews here. Okay? We're not saying we disagree with Israel. We disagree with that Jewish student. We think what he's saying is wrong. No. They're saying we need to kill the Jews. Now, I would be saying that's wrong if it was the Jews saying we need to kill the Muslims. I would say it was wrong if it was the rich saying we need to kill the poor. I would say it was wrong if I saw a bunch of white kids walking around the halls with golf shirts and khaki pants saying we need to rape all the white women. I would still say it was wrong. Okay? When you call for violence against an entire group, that is legally and morally wrong. And the Supreme Court has said you do not have a right in our country to call for violence against someone. I want to kill this person. I want to kill all these people. I want to wage genocide against them. I want to exterminate them. You do not have that right as a person in this country. Period. You do not have that right. The First Amendment says peacefully protest, peacefully disagree, peacefully redress grievances. Okay? It does not say kill or abuse or rape or murder or bomb or any of that shit. Okay? And we've all seen the video footage of all these great institutions, all these guys running around, fuck the Jews, kill the Jews, bomb the Jews, the Zionist pigs. We've all seen it. It's been everywhere. Now, here's the issue. When she says in congressional testimony, Harvard celebrates diversity. How about this? someone, for some reason, conducted a study. I don't know how many colleges they did, every college in America or just a few. But they decided to investigate colleges on their tolerance of free speech. Okay? And of all the schools they investigated, Harvard scored the lowest for allowing free speech. You know what their score was? Absolute zero. Harvard literally scored zero on a test. Think about that for a minute. Harvard. Because Harvard would have a kid, young kid, and they would tell them, you give the acceptance letter to Harvard. You're being accepted into Harvard. We start September. And then they'll go and they'll find out that that kid posted a tweet 5 years ago. He posted an Instagram posting 3 years ago. He made a YouTube video 12 years ago. Okay? And in his social media posting, his meme, his tweet, his video, he insulted one person. One person was offended by, I'm offended by your speech. And Harvard would send him a letter. We have rescinded your invitation. You are not welcome on our campus now. So if I post a meme X number of years ago, you're going to tell me, we don't want you here. We changed our mind. But if I am a student at your school already, and I'm on your campus, and I'm saying, kill the fucking Jews, I am protected by you. I am protected by you. According to you, I can do whatever I want so long as I call for Jews to be killed. Now, I'm not saying that someone should be denied a lawyer. I'm not saying someone should be denied the right to confront their accuser. And I'm not saying someone should be denied the right to a fair trial, okay? They should have a disciplinary hearing convened, and they should call in all these students that are calling for Jews to be killed, and they should tell them flat out, you want a lawyer? You can have a lawyer. You want to be represented by a law student or by some asshole? That's fine. You can be represented. You want to confront people? That's fine. You want to ask your own questions? That's fine. But we have video footage of you right here saying we want to kill the Jews. You're on our campus. Or you cut our class to go down the hall or go down the street and say kill the Jews. So you were supposed to be on our campus, but you left our campus during your class hours to go say kill the Jews. Which means there's not an extension of our campus. Because you were on our time and you left our school to go say kill the Jews, or because you said kill the Jews on our campus, you're in violation of our policy. How do you plead? And have a panel of professors vote on them. We have a video footage of this guy saying he wants to kill the Jews. This club is calling for a genocide across the globe. Okay? Kick them out. Kick them out. You have people that graduated Harvard, have mailed their degree back. You have people who were accepted to Harvard. They have told Harvard, I don't want to come now. I changed my mind. And good for them. And it's not only Harvard. There's a couple of dozen schools around the country, most of them Ivy League or rich kid schools, or, the schools where all the white kids go. In fact, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, wasn't Harvard in the news earlier last year? Yes, it was. Why? Asian students proved literally to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has, I think, 4 sitting Harvard graduates. And they ruled that Asians were racially discriminated against. The affirmative action. An Asian kid and a black kid will get the same exact score on a test, or the same as I score on the SATs, or the same grade point average, or whatever the fuck they would get exactly the same shit, and they would take the black kid, not the Asian kid, or not both. Or the Asian kid would do better than the black kid, and Harvard would take the black kid and spite the Asian kid. So the Supreme Court itself literally ruled in a 6-3, which is a 2/3 majority, that Harvard is literally racist. I'm glad I went to a local community college. I'm glad I got my bachelor's at a small, minor university. Thank you.